that if the reset we've been discussing is no longer a question of if, but when and how, what practical steps should people be taking today, not out of fear, but just clear-eyed preparation to position themselves to be on the right side of what comes next?
Yeah, and again, this is where the eyeballs will roll because I'm clearly selling my own book. I think the reset is already in motion. We've seen this with the slow drip of CBDC during COVID, when the IMF and the World Bank were calling this the Bretton Woods 2.0, blaming COVID or blaming global debt on COVID. That was so disingenuous. It was such, they called it, again, you can literally go to the IMF's website and see that cartoon of Christina just talking about, this is not our fault, this is COVID. And you had Klaus Schwab saying this is the opportunity or the crisis of a lifetime, COVID. No, it was an opportunity to blame everything on COVID for what they themselves had done. And they were slow dripping CBDC back in 2020. This was telegraphing, almost like a classic Intel PSYOP, if you want to get dark. So I think CBDC, programmable money, trackable money, capital controls, yield curve controls, they're leaving the station and not turning around. That is something we have to think about. Stablecoin is CBDC. It's just issued by commercial banks and fintech companies, but it's tied to the hip of government control. So we're already in this desperate stage of centralization. We're in a desperate stage of debasement. So if I see, in my opinion, more centralization, more debasement, and more desperation, of course, my solution, as it was for many years, as folks like Egon taught me, or Middlecoop taught me, or I read on my own as a Wall Street Dragon Slayer lottery ticket winner, I started to figure out what gold was. I want to have a legal firewall between my real money, gold, and my government, which is getting desperate. I want it outside of the banking system, which is fractured. And I want it in a jurisdiction where gold is a protected asset. So again, one preparation for me is clearly the von Greyerz model. I got to say it. Yes, I'm selling my book, but I have absolute conviction in it. And I'm not alone in this, and I'm certainly not the only American